My name is Nea, and welcome back to Crafts and Treasures. And today we're gonna be continuing our Strawberry Cottage. If you're new here, this is a project where I'm customizing a vintage Sylvanian Families Country Cottage into this strawberry themed country home. So recently I made this little pot of strawberries just to test out my polymer clay skills. I'm still learning, so I'm always trying to find new ways to play with polymer clay. But this inspired me to do some planter boxes beneath these windows and fill them up with strawberries and some flowers. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So let's get into it. So first I went through my wood scrap box and found some popsicles and picked two of those to create our planter boxes with. So I figured two popsicles would be a nice amount of height for the planter box compared to our strawberry cottage. So I picked them up, placed them like this, and then eyeballed them next to the windows to see how wide I want the boxes to be. Then I marked down the spots for cutting, got my miter shears, and just cut them in the right length. After I had my piece cut, I just traced it to 3 more popsicles since I'm doing 2 planter boxes here. So 2 popsicle sticks per 1 planter box. After all of them were cut, I just sand down the edges with some sanding paper to make sure they look nice and neat. And I also kind of wanted to round the edges just a teeny tiny bit. We're trying to make this look an older house and maybe the wood has worn out during the years. So I just went ahead, I didn't mind if I sanded a bit too much or so. I just wanted to make sure that the edges were nice and rounded a bit. After that, it was time to figure out how deep I want the planter box to be. I don't want it to stick out too much since I store my Sylvanian houses in a bookshelf and I don't want anything to stick out too much just in case I need to transport them or fit more stuff into those bookshelves. They're not that deep themselves, so I didn't want the planter boxes to be too deep either. So I figured using the excess of the popsicle sticks that we already cut down was gonna be a great idea for this. I just turned it upwards and used one little teeny tiny piece of popsicle for the sides of the planter box. Now I have all my wooden parts cut, but just to save some popsicle sticks for other projects, I'm gonna make the bottom part from cardboard. So this is just from a tea package from long time ago. And what I'm gonna be doing here is just trace the popsicle stick on the cardboard and then cut it out and use that as the bottom part of the blender box. Mind you, we don't need one side at all because we're gonna be gluing this onto the house. So the house is gonna be the last side of the box itself. You'll see once we glue this all together. Once I was working with the cardboard, I also realized hey, actually I'm gonna cut a little strips to enforce the blender box as well. So I did cut off tiny strips for that as well, just to make sure that the box holds and that there's enough surfaces to glue the wood parts together. Sometimes that helps, and since the inside is going to be hidden anyway, it's a great way to use some sort of a scrap material for stuff like that. So I have the front part now glued in. This is the bottom strip that I have in my hand. The other 2 ones are going to be for the other blender box. And next I'm gonna glue in the side parts. So these I'm just gonna stick in with my tacky glue. Again, I should really buy that wood glue, but I just keep on forgetting. I think this would be a lot more easier with that, even though tacky glue is really good with wood surfaces as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna tap some glue in and then put the little sides on, let them dry a little bit, and then attach the bottom part. So this is how the planter box looks like after the glue has dried. As you can see, the bottom part is cardboard, everything else is from popsicle sticks. But now all it needs is some paint and details and of course the strawberries. So let's get into that. Actually, I kind of got a feeling that they were still feeling a bit flimsy, so I went ahead and enforced the corners with some hot glue as well. I don't know if this is necessary, but I just felt like maybe it's good to have some more weight to the bottom as well. So yeah, I went ahead, added a teeny tiny bit of hot glue just to make sure that they're gonna actually hold the weight of the flowers and everything that we're gonna be doing later on. Then I went ahead and mixed some brown and yellow paint, watered it down, and gave the boxes a nice warm tone with the paint, and also painted the cardboard bottom parts completely dark brown so you can't see that it's cardboard. After the paint had dried, I went ahead and sanded them down just a teeny tiny bit to age them down a little, and also created some scratches using different kind of tools just to give them a teeny tiny bit more of that rustic feel that I'm looking for. And after that, I felt like only thing that they need is some nails to create that extra little detail. So first I'm creating tiny little holes using this hand drill that's really often used for miniature stuff like this. It's really useful. I got this from Temu, I guess, like years and years ago, and it's been the best tool ever making miniatures. I wish they would sell stuff like this in classic crafting stores, but at least I have not ever seen anything like this in our local crafting stores. So sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. We don't have Amazon in Finland, guys. So it's really hard to sometimes find stuff like that. But yeah, I went ahead with this tool, created tiny holes, making sure I don't go through the wood though. Just making tiny holes and then sanding the excess off so we can now go ahead and add our quote-unquote nails in it. Just like with the shutters, I'm using these caviar beads, and this time I'm using B7000 glue. I think last time I used tacky glue, but for some reason it didn't hold. Some of the beads fell off later on and I had to go ahead and glue them back in. And then I went ahead and tried this B7000 glue and it worked like a charm. So I guess there's something like the caviar beads and the tacky glue are just not friends together. It just doesn't hold on super clean, teeny tiny surfaces like that. And this is how they ended up looking like. I really like how the nails kind of bring up some character to the boxes. And now finally we can start creating some strawberries and plants for our planted boxes. For our stems, I'm gonna be using this green wire. It's basically like a wire with a paper, like outer layer thingy going on. I don't know what you call this. It's green wire, okay? Like any kind of green wire works, I'm sure of that. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it in pieces just to make the sculpting part of the strawberries easier. And then I'm gonna grab my polymer clay and start mixing up the perfect color for my strawberries. And unlike you would probably think, we're not gonna be using any red polymer clay. So I only used white, yellow, and green here. I mixed some yellow and white together to create this pale pastel yellow color. And then I'm using just bright yellow and some bright green over here. Actually, I did mix some brown, I think, to the green just to make it a teeny tiny bit darker, but you can like go with just the basic green one as well if that feels like too much effort or money for you. But yeah, we're gonna be creating the strawberries from the pale yellow clay, and we're doing this because I'm a beginner as well with polymer clay, and I figured it's a lot easier to make the strawberries this way and then paint them red afterwards, because making gradient shades and like ombre look with polymer clay is actually pretty difficult. So this is why I'm doing this, and this way we can create a larger variety of strawberries with the same effort. So we're gonna make some raw ones, some semi-ripe ones, and then of course like ripe strawberries. So what I'm doing here is that I'm creating this egg-shaped, strawberry-shaped blob from this pale yellow polymer clay, sticking it under the wire, and then I'm gonna pick up my needlepoint tool that I use for sculpting, and then gonna grab some of the green polymer clay to make some leaves on the bottom part of the strawberry. And how I'm doing that is that I'm gonna make two tiny strips and then push them into the strawberry with my tool and use that to sculpt them look like little leaves or some greenery parts. And I'm not kidding, this took me way too long to master how to create those little leaves, but eventually when I got it, it turned out to be super easy. And once I was happy with how the leaves look like, I was able to go ahead and poke some holes to create that strawberry texture to my berries. And that's our first strawberry done. I went ahead and made bunch more off camera. I made couple with even greener mixture of the polymer clay just to make sure they look like super raw, like, and I also made those ones a little bit more tinier, like they are still like kind of developing and stuff like that. And now it's time to make some flowers. So for the flowers, I'm gonna be using this yellow polymer clay. Take a teeny tiny dot and kind of make your wire look like a pen needle. So I'm just gonna stick this teeny tiny yellow ball into the wire and leave it as that because we're gonna be making the petals from something different. Once I had baking sheet full of pale strawberries and yellow pins, it was time to bake my polymer clay. While the clay is baking, I decided to create some leaves. So last time I sculpted them, and as you can see, they look a bit wonky. I'm not pleased with them whatsoever. So this time I wanted to go ahead and try this paper cutter. Yes, it's a maple leaf, I think, but I don't mind. It's not that far from strawberry leaves, kind of. So yeah, what I did is I just took my Sharpies, colored some paper with two different tones of green, and then repeated that on the other side of the paper, and then just went ahead and cut off some leaves. Since we are having some stems in the oven right now, we're gonna need some petals, and for that I'm gonna be using this flower-shaped cutter. And yes, again, I know strawberries have 5 flower petals and this has 6, like a gingerbread cookie or something. But I mean, I'm just using what I have, you know? So let's hope this turns out well. I'm using the same, just normal paper here, and let's hope it's gonna look reasonable. Our clay is ready from the oven, and now it's time to paint some strawberries. So what I'm gonna be doing here is to pick some red acrylic paint, and then I'm gonna carefully kind of like dry brush it onto the strawberries to create that ombre look where you leave the top part of the strawberry pale and the tip stays really radiant and ripe looking strawberry red, as you can see here. Also, if you dry brush it, then usually the seed holes stay pale as well, and that adds even extra detail to your berry. After I was happy with my berries and made sure I left some unpainted to add some variety, it was time to move on to the flowers. With the flowers, I decided that creating these pin needle thingies, they're gonna probably look a bit more delicate. Oh, how wrong was I though? But yeah, this is the way I was trying to make them look, and with my ballpoint tool, I tried to make them like curve a little and not look so papery. They didn't really work out, did it? But I mean, girls, you gotta try something sometimes and something new, and you don't learn unless you fail. And this time I feel like I failed quite a bit. But yeah, the idea was good. I think next time I would just use silk paper what tissue paper or something like that instead of classic printing paper. But yeah, it is what it is. After I had worked with the paper a little bit, crunch it and do all of these things, I poked a hole in the middle of the petal paper thingy and then put it through the wire and glued it in with the yellow ball at the end to make a teeny tiny flower. Super easy way, but maybe kind of I hate to like criticize my own work like this, but honestly, maybe this would more like be a craft with kids. Like as an adult, like to me, it felt a bit too simple and it looks a bit too simple. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need more details next time when I'm gonna try and make flowers again. But I'm sure I can still make them look okay for this project. And now I'm just eyeballing how I want to glue in my berries. And I'm going to glue them in using just hot glue because that's going to add some more weight to the boxes and fill up the little gap inside so I don't have to come up with some stuff to put in. And this way I can also save on materials. At this point, it would be perfect to add some gloss to your berries, but unfortunately, my gloss had dried out completely. So I this time decided not to add any gloss. Last time I used UV resin, but it kind of ate all the details out, so I don't recommend using that on the berries because you won't see the little seed details after that. But yeah, I need to buy more gloss. So maybe afterwards at some point I can add some gloss to my berries just to make them pop a little bit more. Um, I don't want to worry about that too much though, because I think the strawberries still look fairly okay without the gloss as well. And since the flowers are a flop in my opinion, it's okay this time. Uh, I just bent the stems in a way that makes sense to my brain. So in my brain, I'm thinking like the berries weight more, so I want them to be a bit more droopy than the flowers. And just to add more fullness to the box and more greenery in foliage, I'm adding some tacky glue so I can tap in this green viney miniature plant stuff that we also used on the roof earlier on this series. This also helps to hide the hot glue from inside the box before I can also go ahead and add some leaves. I was trying to eyeball where the leaves would look the best, but then I just decided to glue them onto the box since it's not like they look amazing and I just want there to be something different going on. So I just wanted a little bit more fullness and kind of this illusion of strawberry leaves underneath the strawberries itself. And at least to my eye, it looks fairly okay. Yes, it's just a piece of paper, and maybe you could go in and add more details, but at least for my project, I was fairly happy with this, and I think it worked out just fine. As you can see, I'm just bending the leaves a little bit so they're not just sitting there flat, and even that helps a lot, in my opinion. But yeah, really easy way to add more different kind of greenery into the box. Once the glue had dried, it was time to finally attach the boxes onto the house itself. And I did that by setting the house on its side on a table, just like we did with the shutters. And then I added some tacky glue as well as some super glue, and then just set the boxes to dry. And leave it like this for I left them for like a few hours just in case, but yeah, that's how I did the both of them, and eventually this is how they turned out. I also added some extra greenery here and there, but I don't know, I maybe went a bit overboard, but it's fine. And like I said, I'm really disappointed in the flowers. I might just go ahead with clippers, snip them off, and make new ones and just glue them in. I'm just not sure what technique to use next time, or should I just buy new flowers or something? I don't know. If you have any ideas, please let me know in the comment section because damn, I hate those flowers. They look like Lego. But yeah, this is all from me this time. I hope you enjoyed this chaotic crafting session with me. I really love this project, but I'm quite unsure what to do next. Maybe we're gonna move on to the chimney. I mentioned that last time and people really seem to enjoy the idea. So I guess we're gonna add a chimney next time and maybe work on the insides a little bit. Something like that. But yeah, Until that, I want to thank you for being here and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.